center. And so I'm just going to flip back real quick here to the prior slide, because the message here that we're trying to be able to communicate is that the industry in general now, vendors as well as designers of data centers, have realized the need for the business to stay on, and vendors have started to realize the need for hot work to be done, but in a safe manner. So now you're seeing vendors develop products. There's things called touch-safe products out there. There's things called hot swap products that allow, in this specific instance, for hot work to be done in the data center in a safe way. So it's addressing both the more stringent codes as well as the needs of the business itself. And this, again, it's an example of how the industry is coming together. You're seeing vendors start to address the issue as well as the code issues address the safety pieces of it. Okay. Just to give you some other highlights that are in here themselves, things like the number of poles in a PDU. I think many folks can relate to the idea of having a PDU or a panel board that's full of breakers, and somebody rolls in 3 more racks, and yet I'm using all of the poles in my panel already. I need to go get 5 more poles. I'd love to be able to put in a bigger power panel, like a 72-pole power panel, but according to NEC, I can't do that because it's against code. So that's one example now that NEC now has started to realize in the data center that the 42 panel it's become that regulation has become extinct in terms of the new data center requirements. So you're seeing NEC now start to address new requirements that are happening in the data center now, where they're now allowing up to 72-pole position panels in the data center environment. You can see there's some other stats in there that relate to EPO. In terms of cables. Cables are a good one, where traditionally, if we think about a traditional data center environment, it's got a raised floor, and we run all of our cables under the raised floor. But we know, again, the more cables we run under the raised floor, if we're using the raised floor for cooling purposes, then that now affects the ability to be able to put cold air under the raised floor. And as densities start getting higher in certain areas of the floor, now we start getting hot spots because we can't get enough cold air to it. So again, the NEC is starting to put some flexibility in there and allowing cables to be run overhead versus requiring them to be secured to the slab underfloor. So don't want to read the slides, but just trying to give flavor for code changing in order to be able to address new technologies that are coming out in the data center. And these new technologies are coming because data center folks are saying we need this in order to be able to adopt new technology. From a structural standpoint, again, just at a very high level, the idea here is that the codes basically used to say, if we have an earthquake, if from a structural standpoint, we just need to make sure everybody is safe within the building itself. We can't have items projecting out things when they go through some type of earthquake or seismic type activity. New laws now, and they're starting in the healthcare industry first, are starting to talk about, well, not only does it not have to project anything during an earthquake, but it has to work once the earthquake is done.